The conversation of defunding police was talked about heavy. So I really thought it was cool that they decided to tackle that topic in the show, because there's so many people who don't even understand what that means, really. To see me, but not see me.
Oh, beautiful melanin goddess that's before me. Hello.
Coming up on Another Act, I talk with Kandi Burruss about her growing career as an actor, her stellar career as a musician, and if she's finally ready to pull out of reality TV.
You know, Kandi, I believe that it was during your first season of Real Housewives of Atlanta that we learned you had an interest in acting. And not only that you had an interest in acting, but that you were really, really great. Take me back. Where did that love begin for you? And how is it that music was what first popped for you?
You know, it's so funny that you brought up that season, because I think a lot of people don't remember that. That was when we did the vagina monologues on the show. And a lot of people don't remember that season. But yes, this has been something that's been embedded in me since childhood. I started out as a teenager in the Tri-Cities High School of Visual Performing Arts. And a lot of people think because I was in a group Escape and we blew up that I went to school for music, but that is not what I was there for. I was there for actually theater. And then I also was a part of the Youth Ensemble of Atlanta. It started out as the Freddie Hendrix Youth Ensemble of Atlanta, which a lot of people have gone on from our group to have, you know, done bigger things and on Broadway and different things and stuff like that. So it's always been my dream to actually go after that love of acting, that love of theater that I've had since then. And I think I would say in the last 6 years is when I really started going hard with like auditions and different things.
What happened in that last 6 years that made you want to circle back to that world?
Well, you know how when you start looking at your life and you look at your accomplishments and things that you've done, and you're like, okay, what's on my list of things I really want to do that I haven't done, and why? You know? And it's like, it was always one of those things where I know when I was younger, I did have an agent that really wanted to pick me up, but she was like, you need to move to LA and all this other kind of stuff. And at the time, I wasn't really ready for that. So I didn't pursue it. And then later, when I made the serious decision that I was going to go for it hard, I changed agents and I told them what my goal was. I was like, I want to do Broadway. I want to do this. I want to do that. And that's when, like, that following year, we ended up doing Chicago, and I was Mama Horton.
Yeah, no, same, because you're really giving us some good work. You know, when you first started going so seriously into this world of acting, were you concerned that you wouldn't be taken as seriously at the time because people were either seeing Kandi of Escape or Kandi of Real Housewives of Atlanta? And if so, how did you combat that and work past that?
I had a situation some years back, and it's actually on a show that I truly love, but the producers, director, everybody picked me, casting, they had picked me for this role on the show. At the time, the show it was brand new, had not come out. And they wanted me for the role. And so my agent was like, you got the part, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, what? Like, you know, I'm all excited. It was on a major network. And then I was like, well, can I tell my friends? He's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. But then it came back that the network wouldn't approve me because they said I was a reality star and they didn't want to look like they were stunt casting.
I see.
So when I tell you I was heartbroken, like heartbroken, I was so sad. And I remember my agent at the time, he was like, don't worry about it. You just got to keep going hard. Your day will come, you know? So for me, that was a really tough moment because for one, it was like a really huge opportunity. It was something I really wanted to do. I ended up loving the show on top of that. As I watched it, you know, you watch it and you're like, that was supposed to be me.
Like, I could have killed that role. I could have killed it.
Yes. So it was so many moments like that. That was just one of them. But I had a couple more moments that happened after that where I just, you know, I realized, you know what? I'm just going to have to keep going because I'm trying to show that I want it. I have to have the same desire and want that somebody who's brand new to this is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that shows certainly in this role that you have as Rosalind in The Chi. I mean, we really get to see you kind of dive in and you give us this, kind of multi-dimensional character. But because I'm an avid watcher of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I know that you initially were going up for another role before you landed on Rosalind. Why did this role work better for you, do you think?
Well, what happened initially is, it's kind of funny now because when I watch it back, I'm like, wow, that would have been deep. But I had auditioned for Dre. She's Kevin's stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
In the show, in The Chi, and obviously she's a more masculine female. You know what I mean? And I was like excited about auditioning for the role because I was like, that would be totally different than anybody has ever seen me ever. Like you could not see Kandi in any kind of way. So when I auditioned for it, at first they was like, oh, they wanted me for the part, but disappointed once again. I was like, oh man, like I didn't think it was gonna work out. But fortunately, they had this other part that came up, Rosalind, and they felt like, that I would still be good for that. And that's how I was able to, work it. It worked out because scheduling wise, it worked out.
Mm-hmm. And what is so interesting, especially on this new season of The Chi, is that you guys are really diving headfirst into police brutality and Black communities and what those relationships are like. Headlines that are very real and very contemporary to us now. And your character, I think, is going to be very vocal about what's going on. What was that like for you? Because in a lot of ways, this is fiction, but it's real life.
Well, that's the cool part about this show is that The Chi is really supposed to give you the real about what goes down in Chicago, and how the people are living and the whole lifestyle around there. And everybody knows that this time last year, the whole world was in an uproar about what was going on with police brutality, specifically the conversation of defunding police was talked about heavy. So I really thought it was cool that they decided to tackle that topic in the show because there's so many people who don't even understand what that means really. And I think what's cool as well about the show is like in any show I watch, is like if I can learn a little bit of something while still being entertained, then it makes it extra dope.
Yeah, absolutely. Kandi, what's your strategy with building your acting credits? Like, are there particular roles that you're looking to do or work that you want to do with certain actors? Like, what's the goal for you right now?
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Something that I auditioned for recently that I just thought was so dope, and I was like, oh, I would love it. I want to play a villain so bad.
Ooh.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
I want to do it so bad in like a kid's movie though. Like, like where it's kind of crazy, where you get to overly just like, take it up a notch. And so it was just really funny. I got to do one of those auditions recently and I was waiting to hear back from it, but I was like, I would absolutely love to do it.
I can see that. I can see why that would also be something that you would look to do more of. As you grow more in the world of acting and doing more shows like The Chi and doing more roles that even kind of separate you from who you are as a reality star, does it make you want to pull back at all from reality TV, or does reality TV still fuel some of your other interests that serve you well?
I think reality TV is like, it's like a gift and a curse sometimes, you know what I mean? People can love you for it or hate you for it, But honestly, what I've noticed is that reality stars, they really get more love from the people, meaning just the general public and fan, I always call it my family, like you get more love from the people than like superstar actresses and music artists, I noticed. And
Mhm.
I think in a way it's because they have a connection to you because they have, well, for me, I've been on the show so long, people have been with me through so many real moments of my life,
Yeah.
whether it's having children, meeting my husband, they've been through it all with me. And so I
Mhm.
feel like it's a different connection, a different love, a different support. So I love reality for that. But then sometimes, I mean, I do wonder, like, okay, can it ever be a point of overkill? Because you don't want to just like people to get tired of you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's important to do other things that people can see me in a different light and just enjoy me for something other than reality. Because sometimes reality is so tied into drama.
Kandi, it is always such a treat to talk to you. Thank you so much for doing this.
It was awesome talking to you as well.